Hey guys, Mustang here bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we are going to be taking a look at the INT NAMEK Goku EZA. There's been a lot of controversy about this guy, a lot of people going back and forth in the community. I made a video talking about it yesterday, but now we have him in the game, so we can see how well he actually is going to perform. Mine, of course, full level 10 links, built mostly for additional with a bit of crit. I might change that because I guess ideally you want to be using him against extreme class enemies where he will be getting guaranteed crits. But we can see here post EZA his 18 key super greatly raises attack and defense. It's an infinite stack on both. And then his 12 key super greatly raises defense, infinite stack, and then raises attack for 1 turn. So obviously the more supers we get off, the more we can build up our defense. 3 key, 200% attack and defense, and 20% damage reduction. He gets an extra 1 key at the start of each turn up to +3. If he receives an attack, he will launch an additional super for 4 turns. For every attack received, he gets 1 key up to 3, and 20% attack and defense up to 59%, so he has to get hit 3 times to get the full build up. If he's the first attacker in the turn, he gets 59% attack and an extra 30% damage reduction. So obviously that gives him 50% damage reduction. Ideally, so that you can then take a hit in slot 1 to activate the additional super attack thing. But 50% damage reduction, I mean, is not bad, but you're going to need to stack up to a decent amount of defense in order to be able to go in slot 1 without a huge amount of risk, right? And in slot 2 or 3, he gets 100% extra attack and does a guaranteed additional super. So that can obviously help build up that defense ready for him to then go in slot 1. He gets guard for 6 turns from the entry turn, and then when there's an extreme enemy, he has 59% extra attack and a high chance to crit. If there's an enemy whose name includes Frieza, he gets guaranteed crits. So I'm running him. I don't have my own Vegito, so I've got the Tech Vegito friend who's obviously giving him a 220 lead for stats, and then I'm running the 200% lead Kamehameha, like family Kamehameha Gohan. So he's getting a 200% leader skill from my leader and a 220 from the friend. You can see we're only starting off at 227k defense start of turn. So if we put him in slot 1, 50% damage reduction and guard, it means if he gets hit with a super that does, what, any more than about 800k or so, he's going to take damage. So in some of these newer stages, we've jumped into the Planet Namek Saga one from the Vegeta story, because these are a little bit longer than some of the other ones. But this Dodoria supers for 2 million straight away. So if we get supered in slot 1, we will just die immediately. So yeah. We don't really have a unit that can go in slot 1 on this rotation other than Goku, so we basically just have to put him in slot 1 and hope for the best. So we got all of our links active, except for Kamehameha, and let's see what happens. Oh, we do actually get supered straight away. Nice. 322k. Alright, so I guess I was wrong, because how does his super do his super does 2 million. Goku took 300k. Guard should cut that down. I guess guard cuts it in half, roughly. And then 50% damage reduction cuts it in half as well, I guess. Alright, well, there you go. I hugely underestimated that calculation right there. So, that's definitely interesting. I mean, tanking a 2 million super in slot 1 on your first turn. I mean, I say tanking, but like 300k, that's still pretty good. It's actually significantly better than I expected. So I was thinking more of, when I said about 800k, I was thinking more of like the kind of damage he would be able to tank for double digits. But yeah, I suppose that's not bad for a turn 1 slot 1, when realistically I think your best bet for him is like turn 1 to not put him in slot 1, let him get those first like few attacks off, and then can potentially put him in slot 1 after that. But I mean, hey, can't argue with results, right? I mean, we got some of these new tougher stages like the Formidable Foes event where bosses are hitting harder than 2 million straight away from turn 1. But being a stacking unit, obviously this Goku is more so designed for longer events. Like I talked about it in those videos for the Formidable Foes stages, where that event does kind of require a whole different kind of team building, and you want units that have these bursts of like really strong abilities for, you know, a couple of turns, and then they're maybe not as good, and so those units aren't as good in longer events, but in something like that will obviously be significantly better. So I've got the Xeno Goku on the team here as well for a little bit of support. Sadly, we didn't get on the first turn the AoE from Dodoria, because of course that allows you for both Goku and Frieza, the little bit of tech that was discovered after they came out and we got our first proper like AoE enemy after they'd released, is obviously because they get the part of their passive where they get an extra attack when after they've received an attack. In almost every other scenario, that just means they'd have to be in slot 1. Whereas obviously if an AoE happens and they're in slot 2 or 3, they get hit before they attack, and then they get the part of their passive that because they're in slot 2 or 3, they get another additional attack. So against AoE enemies, they're able to get that extra attack in there, which can obviously be quite useful. But there's still not a huge amount of AoE enemies in the meta, and of course there's that annoying like Great Ape Vegeta, who is definitely a pain some of these runs. So we've got our guaranteed, because we got hit in the first turn, so we have got the additional for 4 turns. We're already at 800k defense, which, bearing in mind, we have guard, and if we put him in slot 1, 50% damage reduction. So this Zarbon hits for 2.2, only a little bit more than Dodoria. But I mean, our defense has jumped up by like 500k in that one turn. So that means in slot 1, this Goku would tank a super from this guy for double-digit damage, which is pretty good. But I think because we have the buff from the previous like attack, from the previous turn, because he did get hit, and then he gets an additional super for 4 turns. Let's go ahead and put him in slot 2. So he's only going to have 20% damage reduction, but he's going to get a whole bunch of extra attacks off here as well. So we'll go ahead and do this. He's got every single link active in this slot as well. So let's do that. And then see how we go. Family Kamehameha Gohan should be able to tank. We didn't get a huge amount of orbs for him, but yeah, 50k is fine. We take those. Alright, so Namek Goku on his second turn, no support in terms of attack, 19.1 million. That's not bad. I mean, obviously against an extreme class enemy, he has a 50% chance to crit built in. So there's the crit. Then we get the additional 17 mil. And obviously these are, the 18 key supers are stacking his attack as well. But the 12 key supers are only going to stack his defense. He still does raise attack for 1 turn. So they will still, the number will still increase a little bit. But yeah, we get our 2 extra supers, because 1 was from the previous turn after receiving an attack. Then we get the slot 2 one. Then we get the hidden potential, which unfortunately was only a normal. But that's still pretty good. Plus he has to get hit a few times in order to build up. And I think he hadn't been hit the full 3 times in the first turn. You saw the attack and defense icon come up there when he got hit on this turn here. So obviously floating off Goku here at the end, not something you would normally do, I guess, if you're going for the all-out victory in a stage, but we're just trying to showcase Goku. Obviously we'd keep him around and start exchanging and all that kind of stuff, but don't need him on the rotation for now. Let's go ahead and I guess we might as well just fuse with you, just so we can get that little bit of extra intel with the scouter and everything, because then yeah, that allows us to do this, and then Gotenks can grab all of these to finish them off, and then we'll grab those for Gogeta as well. Make sure we've got all the Dragon Balls here. Not that it really matters too much, because we're not going for the win specifically, so it's not like we're gonna use the family. I might not even use it at all. I do that in showcases sometimes, where it's like you put him into his standby so he can be a really good tank, and then you just don't ever use the active skill, so the standby just wears out, because it allows him to be a good support, good defensive unit to support, like the showcase, right? Because he shares, I think in the standby, shares all 7 links with Namek Goku, and of course that STR Gohan Family Kamehameha is getting a 220 lead from Vegeta as well. So definitely a good combo on this team. And Gotenks, of course, is the GOAT. I mean, obviously not doing as much because he didn't get hit first, but he's able to take him out here, and we can go on to Ginyu Goku. Now, Ginyu Goku hits for 2.8 mil. Now, we do still have guard on this turn. So I do kind of want to see us eat the super here, because we're now up to 1.68 with the support from Xeno Goku as well. Unfortunately, Xeno Goku hasn't attacked at all yet, so I have a horrible feeling that he's actually just going to get clapped by the normal at the end of the turn here. Because, yeah, he hasn't attacked at all, so he's got no defensive build-up whatsoever. It's only one normal, so hopefully he just gets off a bunch of supers and we're okay. But yeah, Namek Goku should tank this super for double-digit damage, considering it's 2.8 million. He's only going to have 20% damage reduction, but by the time he's finished attacking, he's basically going to have over 2 million defense. So 25 mil on the 18 key here. And then the additional's at 22. I mean, all in all, I think he seems quite solid. He's definitely not like crazy, like, oh my god, this guy's the best, like EZA, he's the best unit in the game. Like, it's probably not like on that level, but I don't know. I know people were expecting these guys to be absolutely insane, and maybe that's why, like, expectations being set too high or something is why people are disappointed with this these EZAs. But I mean, he seems pretty good to me. Let's see here. So this is a 2.8 million damage super. Yeah, and we take 10 damage. In slot 2, where we don't have the extra 30% damage reduction, we take 10 damage from a 2.8 million super. Oh, Goku, you need to get additional supers here, buddy. Oof. Yeah. So much for that. Bringing this guy on the team for the support, and then he just gets destroyed. Okay, so we're back to Goku's third turn here. He was on turn 1 again. He's up to 1 million defense this time. Unfortunately, he was, on his previous turn, only able to super attack once, and then it killed the enemy. So, interestingly enough, he's been hit, what, 3 times? He's attacked. He's only supered 3 times. Now, of course, the big thing for this team is that you can go ahead and use the Vegito or the Vegeta, depending on how you want to do the thing. I guess I don't want Vegito just going ham and killing all the enemies, so I'm just going to use the active skill for Vegeta so that we can have him as a defensive slot 1 here. Obviously Goku, I forgot to really highlight it as well, but Goku does have the new animated sprite as well. Obviously it's only a very basic, like, taking the stance animation, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, you've got some build-up already now, so shouldn't get instantly clapped by a normal attack this time. But yes, I mean, Namek Goku, from what I've seen so far, definitely seems better than I think some people were making him out to be. But obviously, with any kind of stacking unit, this is the problem that you're going to have, is we did have this turn. Like, he was on turn 1. We killed the first enemy in 1 turn. So then we went on to the second phase, and we didn't quite kill the enemy in 1 turn. So then Namek Goku came back on turn 3, and the enemy had, like, no HP. So I put Goku in slot 1, so he could get 1 more super off. But then that's it. That's all he was able to do, right? Whereas this guy is obviously going to thrive in these events where he's actually able to get these multiple attacks off and actually get stacks, right? I mean, it's pretty similar for all stacking units, but it's obviously going to hurt this guy significantly, because once his guard runs out after 6 turns, that's when ideally you want him to be really stacked up with that defense, because then, you know, depending on how high his defense is at that point, you could put him in slot 1 to tank with the 50% damage reduction, but his defense needs to be high enough for him to be able to do that, right? So you can see here we took 200k from the super from Ginyu, which, to be fair, again, remember slot 2, he only has 20% damage reduction, and Ginyu does 2.8 million, so that's still pretty good, considering he did have a bit of a shaky second turn. But yeah, this Goku, much higher defense this time, so shouldn't get absolutely destroyed by a normal attack here. Still took 200k, but alright, so he doesn't have a Ki Blast super, and I can't get a heal on this turn either, which is really annoying. That means we can't get the Gotenks fusion. The Gogeta fusion. Do I use Gotenks as active here? This guy doesn't have a Ki Blast super, does he? So if he supers in slot 1, which I don't think he will, but yeah, let's just use it. Get through to the next phase. Because the next fight is against a Frieza. So obviously we're going to get Goku's full passive active. Yeah, so 25 mil from Gotenks. Pretty good. Okay, my Gotenks has 1 dupe. Such a great unit. Not sure about the Universe Tree Goku here. I threw him on the team with the Xeno Goku just because he's another Kamehameha character, but obviously he's kind of a bit of out of place on this team, but he can still work. And on the active skill turn he gets guaranteed crits, so he should hopefully just finish off Ginyu here. No, I say that, even if he gets like a triple super, probably not actually going to finish him off. Damn. Man, heroes, like, it's always the way, right? We push the heroes agenda on this channel, but anniversary content has always been what kind of kills the heroes team. And I think this anniversary is definitely no exception. With the difficulty level of some of the content that's been coming out, like the Formidable Foes event thing, no way in hell we're going to be able to do that with the heroes team. Hopefully these guys actually clutch up and get some crits and stuff here, because otherwise we're going to end up not killing him. Which will be really annoying, because again we'll go into a turn where the enemy has like 1 HP with Namek Goku, which is not what we want. Okay, good. Whew, that was close. They didn't get that hidden potential additional. That would have been a very awkward situation. So this Frieza at the end, we've obviously got type advantage, so it's kind of funny that actually Goku's guard has run out now, but it doesn't really matter because he has type advantage here regardless. So if we do this, we're at 1.26. If we switch, you have defense support, don't you? So do you? Earth protecting heroes or Potara allies? Is he not an earth protecting hero? He must be, right? I guess he wasn't on Earth at the time, but wow, yeah, he isn't. I guess that's why, right? He's not on Earth at the time, so okay, well, in that case, I guess we'll just do this. Yeah, 1.26. So if we do this, I'm not going to use the family Kamehameha, so if I do that, I was hoping we'd have more orbs available, but I was going to do that because I don't care about picking up the Dragon Balls or any all the extra orbs if we've done it at the start of the turn, because I'm not going to use the family Kamehameha. I'm just doing it for the defensive capability. I mean, to be honest, we'd probably just end after this turn, but because we've kind of seen what Goku can do. I mean, I don't know what the best verdict for this Goku is, because like he's a stacker, so he just does the things that stackers do, and if you get into those annoying situations where he doesn't get a bunch of attacks off, then obviously he's not going to stack as much. But like at this point, with him being at 1.2 million defense, we could put him in slot 1. His guards run out, so obviously against a type neutral or type disadvantage enemy, that's going to be slightly more awkward. But 1.2 million defense with 50% damage reduction means that he's surviving like even up to these bosses that are doing like 3 million damage supers if they super him in slot 1. And obviously he does, like, his defense isn't building up insanely fast, but as long as he gets the turns where he gets to attack, he's getting quite a lot of attacks off in one turn. So I don't know, I think his build up is still relatively good. I mean, obviously against Frieza he gets guaranteed crits, and quite a few of these new stages from the anniversary events, right? We've got 2 Namek Saga stages, we've got 2 Golden Frieza like stages. So we've got a couple of stages where he's fighting a Frieza. Does Gohan die to this? Oh, he gets the dodge. Yeah, I was going to say, taking 8,000 from normals is a bit off because he only got 4 orbs. That's where the Family Kamehameha Gohan can be a massive liability, is when he's only getting the only getting a few orbs to pick up, and then obviously his defensive capability is nowhere near as good. Alright, we'll see if we get another turn, because I feel like we might not. I don't necessarily think we'll kill him this turn, but if he supers in the last slot again, Xeno Goku will die unless he dodges. So we'll see. Gotenks will do some decent damage, but he hasn't been hit first. So this Frieza does have a Ki Blast super, so if he supers Gotenks in the middle, Gotenks won't take any damage. Yeah, we're definitely not going to kill him this turn. Xeno Goku won't do like crazy damage here. Alright. Gotenks getting the extra super. Alright, come on Frieza. Super attack Gotenks. If you're going to super this turn. Well, actually his cooldown is 9, so I don't think he even can super attack Gotenks. His normals do 1.3 million damage as well. So I think Goku actually just gets killed here. Because he doesn't have damage reduction or guard or anything like that after his first turn. So 316. Alright, well, that's going to be it for the video. Namek Goku, I think he seems decent. The problem is, as I say, he's a stacking unit. So as long as you get the stacks for him, ideally you want him to be on turn 1. Because especially if he's in like slot 7, so you don't get him until turn 3, he's not going to get that build up that he needs. But I guess his 6-turn guard is from his entry turn, right? So at least he does have that for longer. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I think he seems good. I think maybe people are overreacting a bit much about him being bad, but I could definitely see him having issues in tougher fights. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.